Hi, everybody, and welcome aboard to Local Matters, where living local never felt so good. So glad you've joined us. We've got a great show, and it's all about the building up and recognition of young leaders in our communities. Central Alabama 40 Under 40 is a new program designed to recognize, motivate, and inspire those individuals who consistently strive to be significant in their communities. And when we come back, we're going to meet the founder and director of that new program. You know why? Because if it's local, it matters.
Dance. Let me see you move.
Baby, love never felt so good. And I die if it ever could. Not like you. Oh.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to Local Matters. There's an old age question. Are leaders born or are they made? Well, I guess it would be pretty silly to think that leaders are born with all of the tools that they will need to become effective leaders. Therefore, it makes sense. You see, according to research, leaders are 1/3 born and 2/3 made. And with that being said, I am happy to have Miss Carisha Wilson joining me today here on the set of Local Matters to tell us all about this new leadership class that she has established. So welcome aboard to Local Matters. Yes. So I'm sitting here thinking, I know that that is great news for you to hear that leaders are 2/3 made. Great news for someone in your seat that as a professional developer, if you will, you're in professional development. So that is great news. And I know that your cousin uncle, Commissioner Wilson, is so proud of you. Tell me, you say he's your cousin, but you...
He is my cousin, but I've been reared to call him Uncle Fred.
Uncle Fred. So
He-
cousin Uncle Fred.
Cousin Uncle Fred.
That's funny. I know he's so proud of you.
Yes,
Yes, and he recently won his seat back. So congratulations to Commissioner Fred Wilson on that. And look at us. I mean, we look like we're sitting here promoting Auburn,
Right.
orange and blue. Okay,
Yeah.
take delight, Auburn fans, and but we're not because you say you're more
Roll
Alabama.
Tide.
You're okay.
Roll
all right.
Tide.
And I
Roll
am
Tide.
Gamecock. We just happen to look out here with Auburn. But I'm so happy to have you here on set because I
Thank you.
understand that you have recently established a new program, a new class for young people. It's called Central Alabama 40 Under 40. Tell us a little bit about that program and what inspired you to do that.
Well, as a young professional and going through undergraduate school,
Right.
being a part of a family that gives back to the community and to the workplace, I've always wanted to continue that.
Right.
And I feel like, until you give back,
Yes.
you never know what it feels like to truly occupy this space on earth.
Yeah.
And so I truly believe that if you are not giving back, what's your purpose?
What's your purpose?
What is your purpose?
It's funny you mentioned that because we were talking about this right before we got set here on set. That Horace Mann, a great educator,
Absolutely.
and he has a quote that says something along those same lines that you really should be ashamed to die if you have not in some way sown into humanity some way.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you really do believe in that. And so you work in education also in other capacities, I understand, in Talladega. Tell me a little bit about that.
So I am currently the director of the Fast Track Accelerated Degree Program
Okay.
at Talladega College.
Okay.
I am a Talladegan. I'm
Okay.
from Talladega County.
So you're from Talladega.
I am from Talladega.
Okay.
And I did attend Talladega College. However, I did graduate from Alabama A&M University, in
Okay.
Huntsville, Alabama,
Okay.
as an education and English major.
Wow.
However, I'm still from Talladega.
Right. So you're back home
I am
now
back home
and
now.
sowing in your own community.
Absolutely.
Okay. So again, the Central Alabama 40 or under 40. Why this mantra 40 under 40? And I was really, from what I understand, what's the significance of 40 under 40?
So I have mapped out my life. Every years there are certain things that I want to have accomplished.
Right.
And I also think about those who have poured into me
Okay.
while growing up, developing my
Right.
I think those I'm saying to do. And most importantly it's not about really what I do, it's about who it affects.
Right.
And so I think of it as so to me, and of the professional family member, and I like you're so much in
What can
how
you,
can I impact the generation coming behind me? You know, we say that we want to do all these nice things,
yes.
and that's good. It's
Right.
good to have those experiences, but what is it for you
Right.
if you're not giving to someone
If you're not
else?
giving back.
And I think about it like that because there are so many people who have way and they continue to do so.
Right.
Advice, constructive criticism, sometimes things I want to hear, sometimes it's things I don't want to hear.
Right.
But they are always things that I need and they can help me. And so in coming up with 40 Under 40, I was actually a recipient of a similar award in another state.
Okay.
And from what I thought, I was just simply doing my job
Right.
By helping a group of young ladies stay in school, overcoming barriers of transportation,
Right.
childcare,
Right.
healthcare, things of
Right.
that nature. I thought I was doing my job simply.
Right.
And I was recognized for doing such a thing. And so my family and I have always contributed back to others and into the community. And so what better way to say, okay, I've done all of these things, but it means nothing if I cannot highlight those individuals who are doing some of those same grassroots things,
Right.
and they just have no recognition for them.
So
So
and so really sewing back into young people is what it's about. The 40.
Absolutely.
So are there 40 people, will there be 40 recipients this year?
so this year there are not 40 recipients.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
And so I beast on the not yet simply because I do anticipate us growing
Okay.
this year.
You do anticipate. And when we come back, I want to talk more because we've got to go to break right now, but I want to talk more about Central Alabama, 40 on under 40. You mentioned it's for young people that we're going to talk about the age. And then, but cutting off at 40 is the goal. So we're going to talk more about this new program in Central Alabama. We'll be right back with more Local Matters. Don't go away. Hey everybody, welcome on back to Local Matters, where living local never felt so good. I'm Dottie Rimpsey, and I'm joined here on set with Miss Carisha Wilson, as she is the CEO and founder of Central Alabama 40 Under 40. And we've been talking about the significance of this new program that she felt was highly needed in our communities. And so I want to continue more talking with her about that because you shared with us before we went to break. You felt that it was significant because so many people have poured into you and you wanted to be able to give back. You know, we talked about earlier too in the first or the top half of the show, Horace Mann, great educator, said that people, that anyone really should be ashamed to die if you have not really done anything to make sure towards humanity or the betterment of humanity. And that's just me sort of in my own way of roundabout paraphrasing that quote from Horace Mann. So we know that it's a new program and a new class, if you will. The goal is to be 40 people. Right now you have how many?
21.
21. And so under 40. Because you're looking specifically, and it's so needed too.
It is.
You know, Carisha, what you're doing is so needed because here's the thing, we hear oftentimes that there are no jobs out here. There are no jobs, there are no jobs. But really there are jobs. Research shows there are jobs out here. It's that we don't have, a lot of individuals are not able to fill these positions
Absolutely.
that are out here, especially in the science and technology areas. So development is needed. And speaking of that, what will the recipients of Central Alabama 40 Under 40, what is the focus there in this program?
So the focus is to highlight those individuals who are significantly contributing. However, after the night of recognition, those individuals will have the opportunity to embark on the John Maxwell Leadership Series.
Ooh, that's great. John Maxwell.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
So I myself have been a part of numerous individuals who have gone through the leadership series, and I know from sitting under their leadership how it has impacted me. And so you know that you have these qualities, you know what you're capable of, and sometimes it's just you need someone to invoke those new thoughts and wake up those ideas inside of you.
Exactly.
And so my goal is to first get them to understand that what you're doing is worth it.
Yes.
It is needed.
Yes.
And there are individuals in the community that are looking up to you. And so I want them to have the experience of being a product of the John Maxwell Leadership Series.
Yes.
By attending the conferences, and anytime anyone who has graduated from his class or from his series is that, if they're in the area, that they'll be able to take part, because I myself have not completed the entire series. However, I have been a part of classes and a part of teachers who've graduated from that series, and they have significantly impacted my life. So once the night of recognition is over, then they'll enter those, they'll be able to enter the John Maxwell Leadership Series, as well as, continue their efforts, and then highlight others that, could be coming in the years to come in the Central Alabama new class, such as 2018, 2019, 2020,
Right.
And so forth. They will be able to say, okay, I remember in 2018 when I was a 40 under 40 recipient,
Right.
and these were some things that I did, and these were some things, that I came up with. So what can I do? What am I looking for? So they're constantly looking for individuals in the community or in the workplace to nominate.
And so when you say they are, who's part of your nomination panel?
So this year, the nomination panel is community members.
Community members.
And so what was done is that it was advertised for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And members of the community were able to nominate the recipients.
Okay.
And then a selection committee actually had an opportunity to go through
Right.
the nominations, and then the recipients were chosen by the selection committee.
By the selection committee.
Yes.
What, and so I guess I should say too, what areas are your recipients coming from? Are they coming from, what counties shall I say, are they coming from?
So Central Alabama, this 40 under 40 class, or this region, is
Calhoun County,
Coosa,
Coosa,
Cleburne,
Cleveland.
St. Clair,
Okay.
Randolph,
Wow.
and Talladega County.
Wow.
It does exclude Jefferson County,
Okay.
because it is so vast, and then they
Right.
have an organization
They
that is
right.
similar,
Right.
and so we just have some excellent things going on in Central Alabama and the counties
Right.
aforementioned, and so that's why I chose the counties that were chosen.
Okay, and those counties need that too, again. So you mentioned you've got 21 recipients right now that have been chosen by a selection panel from these various counties. What qualities were they looking for in these young people when they say, oh yeah, I want Johnny right here? What qualities were they looking for?
So impact. How are these?
Impact,
How
okay.
are these nominations, or how are these recipients impacting our community, or how are they impacting the workplace?
Right.
So, of course, we have to be kind, but sometimes we have to stretch farther than just being kind
Right, yeah.
or smiling.
Right.
It's about what you can do and who you can impact.
Right.
And as I previously stated, you should be pulling someone behind you.
You
And if you
should.
are pulling someone, behind you, those things are being recognized. For one, the ones that you're pulling, they're going to remember you.
Yes, they will.
And
Yes,
those
they
that
will.
you've been impacted by, they're
always
looking to
remember
see
them. Yeah.
exactly. That's my product, and you're thinking about those conversations with your mentors, with your family, and it's like, okay,
Right.
what can I do? So
So-
it's about impact.
So I know that you've got a celebration of sorts, if you will, recognition coming up, where we're going to be able to meet these 21 individuals, young
Yes.
people who have been selected
Yes.
to be part of the very first class of Central Alabama 40 under 40.
Yes.
Can you give us, maybe when we come back, can you give us a few names of those who have been chosen? Just to,
Yes.
we're going to talk. I want you to give us a few names of those
I will.
who's going to be a part of that very first Central Alabama 40 under 40. We'll be right back, so don't go away. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome on back to Local Matters. We're living local, never felt so good. Never felt so good to have you joining me here on the set of Local Matters along with Miss Carisha Wilson. And we have been sitting here most of the morning talking about her great program that she started, Central Alabama 40 Under 40. And we've been talking about how much it is so needed. You know, we mentioned earlier in the top of the hour, if you're just joining us, that there are a lot of jobs out here. But what's really sad is that we just don't have, many times we just don't have the individuals ready to go and to really fill those positions. And so part of what you're doing with Central Alabama 40 Under 40, you shared with me, is really working with young people to really motivate them. And we're going to be meeting them soon. Tell us about the big night coming up real soon. It's a big recognition night of these. So it's not 40 yet. There was only 21 recipients for 2018. Tell us about the event on July, I think it's, what is
21st.
it? 21st, yeah.
So this year's Night of Recognition will take place at the Talladega Regional Family Life Center
Okay.
at 6 o'clock p.m.
Okay.
Those individuals, the recipients, will be recognized along with banquet-style dinner and a speaker.
Okay.
This year's speaker for the Night of Recognition is Kenneth Bowler.
Kenneth Bowler.
He is the CEO of Big Sheets USA.
Okay.
And so he will be our guest speaker
Right.
this year.
Okay.
It starts at 6 o'clock
Okay.
p.m. And tickets are on sale. You can visit the website.
Yeah. You have a
you-
website, and I know we had the full screen up there with your email. There are people who are
Yes.
interested in attending.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they can you can email me.
Okay.
And then tickets are on sale Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m.
Okay.
Tickets are $25
Okay.
per person.
Okay.
Children 5 and under are free.
And so again, you've got 21 recipients that are going to be recognized. Now, before we talk a little bit about some of those recipients, you know, you can't do this without collaboration. It takes money, as you
Yes,
mentioned.
yes.
The recipients are going to be part of a John C. Maxwell a seminar where they will have weeks of, and when you listen to him, I mean, you can't, I mean,
Powerful.
you can't, I mean, anybody
Sit idly by.
is going to walk out of there feeling like they can move mountains.
Right.
And as we said earlier, you know, according to research, you know, leaders are 1/3 born and 2/3 made. So we know that there are certain characteristics that all of us are born with. We all have our, but a lot of times it could be so buried underneath that you don't
Yes.
even realize what's there or what lies beneath, if you will,
Yes.
until sometimes you have to be there and other people can see it and they have
To
to
wake it up.
yeah, wake it up for you, bring it out of you, and
Yes.
especially when you're young. You know, I when I was young coming up, believe it or not, my dad he already knew that, and believe it or not, we used to have our powwows about it because I was I was the mouthy one, but but he knew, but he would always coach me. You know, you can do it, you can do this, you can do it. And but
Absolutely.
and a lot of sometimes children they don't have that.
They don't. They do not.
They do not have that. So your sponsors, talk to me a little bit about some of your sponsors that's going to help you keep this going year after year.
So some of my sponsors include Wilson and Son Auto and Towing, Sylvia's Classic Catering. I've had some heavy collaboration with the Daily Home,
Okay.
as well as the Talladega Regional Family Life Center,
Right.
which is where the Night of Recognition will be held, and several sponsors who would rather remain unanimous.
Unanimous, yes.
Several,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
just simply go forth. This is what I want to place, in your hands, and you can use it for printing, use it for whatever you need to. And so I greatly appreciate those sponsors who would like to be recognized, who will be recognized, and those who truly
Wanna
want
stay
to
in the-
remain
yeah, stay in the
unanimous.
background.
Because I've tried
Yeah.
to publish, and they just do not wish to. So,
Yeah.
but my family,
But your
my family.
is right there for you.
they are.
They're right there for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of times, sometimes when we see the outcome, people don't realize the hard work that goes
Behind
behind
the
it.
scenes.
I mean, even sitting here, you know, you don't run a show for free. You know, it takes money.
Absolutely.
Lights, people need to be paid.
Yes.
So it takes money and sponsorship and working to keep these things going. So I'm tipping my hat to you.
Thank
and I'm
you.
hoping that you're gonna, you know, that you're going to gain more and more sponsorship
Yes.
year after year. Now, I know you got 21 people so far. Can you give us just a few names that have been chosen because of the impact that they have made in the surrounding communities?
Sure. Mrs. Paula Bruno.
Paula Bruno.
She is the assistant principal at Nicholas Lawson Middle School.
Okay.
Dr. Darius Williams.
Okay.
He is a principal, the
Okay.
principal of Talladega High School.
Okay.
We have Angel Chegg,
Okay.
Mr. Ashton Fowler.
Okay.
We have.
And all of these people are under 40.
They are under
Woo.
40. They
Well, I
are.
was so glad when you said, Dottie, you know what, we can nominate you. And I was like, well, I'm a little bit older than 40,
Yeah,
so I wouldn't be
yeah.
able to be a part of it.
Yeah. And Miss Caitlin Cox, she's a native of this
Yeah.
area.
And I know that, and here from Anderson, I know that Sir Ram Selassie is.
Yes, he
yeah,
is.
that he's been nominated
yes,
for this as well.
Yes.
Well, you know what? I you know what? I'm sitting here thinking and saying to you, I'm so glad that you wanted to nominate me and you thought that I was under 40. So you know what? I'm going to make sure I can do all that I can to help you along the way.
Thank you.
I wish you
Thank
great
you so
success. Again, it is going to be July 21st, the big event where we'll get to meet these 21 chosen leaders, young
Yes.
leaders in our community to continue to motivate them, to push them forward. You know
Yes.
why? Because if it's local, it matters. Have a good night, everybody.